we always see in movies the hero's journey. The main character has to overcome himself, and he renews himself, becomes a new identity, and saves the world. Well, what if I told you you are currently living your hero's journey? Well, I soon found out and came across a book named A Hero with a Thousand Faces by Joseph Campbell. Joseph Campbell was he greatly studied Carl Jung. And what Carl Jung realized was how mythology was connected with religion, and it was also connected to our dreams. And it showed our psychological patterns of transformation. Let me explain. So, hero's journey, it starts out as your initiation. You starts out in your old identity. You feel like there's something outside of you, and you ask the important questions. And then there's the refusal of entering the journey. Then you feel something that's beyond you, and you're not really sure what's occurring. Then it gets to the point that a crisis occurs, a breakup, or a harsh situation occurs, and you have no choice but to enter the unknown, right? So there's initiation, there's the threshold. So you dive into the threshold. As you dive into the threshold, that's when you face your traumas, your insecurities, your fears, your shadow. You face the things that we're afraid to confront the most, our fears. And through facing our fears, we eventually get to the abyss. That's the climax. That's the climax of the story of your mythology. And once you do that, you become rebirthed, renewed. And once you renew, you gain all that wisdom. You gain a new identity. Now you find yourself in a new light. You find yourself seeing the world differently. And now you've gained something. You gain wisdom, a spiritual sword, as per se. And now you're able to be to come back to the ordinary world and essentially fulfill your purpose or help out others by your experiences and feeling overgrown through those old identities that you went through and the suffering, and being a new you. This story, The Hero's Journey, is so powerful because you see in Divine Comedy by Dante, same exact thing. He has to go through hell. He goes through the 7 deadly sins. Then he comes back and he has a mentor named Beatrice. And Beatrice breaks away from him. And then eventually he comes back to purgatory. From purgatory, he goes to heaven. All right? In heaven, that's when he finds his truth. That's when he becomes one with God. Right? So he had to go through the harsh reality and facing all these characters and creatures. And eventually he found himself with God, with one. And same thing to go with Homer's The Odyssey. Same exact thing. Odysseus, he comes back from the Trojan War. He finds himself in crisis. He has to go through the sea, right? And the sea represents your conscious mind. It faces your shadow. And that's what he does in the story. He faces these creatures. He's facing turmoil. Eventually, he becomes a renewed man. He comes back to his hometown and he saves the village as a new man. See, this is cross-culturally has been written throughout thousands of years. You see in all the different stories. It's a recurring theme. I was heavily influenced by Joseph Campbell. Star Wars, George Lucas was heavily influenced by A Hero with a Thousand Faces. He was struggling to write a story, and he came across Joseph Campbell's book, and he wrote Star Wars off the stages of the hero's journey, and he created Star Wars, right? And Star Wars is what it is today. Then a movie I greatly think about of the hero's journey is The Matrix, right? Neo, like, he's questioning societies. He's seeing the illusion beyond the illusion, and he awakens. And when he awakens, he's stunned, he's shocked, he's disoriented. Then he has to retrain himself. He has to build his foundation again, and eventually face the machines and defeat the machines and save the world, right? And that's essentially what we are. You know, we're living our mythology. Like, what mythology are you living today? That's the question you should ask. Because if you really study the books I said, the mythology, religions, they all follow the same patterns. And in your dreams too, you can interpret your dreams, and you can see it follows a certain stage of categories that it follows, and you can see where you're at specifically in the hero's journey. And that's the most amazing thing. Your dreams are speaking to you, because that's the unconscious energy that is suppressed. It appears in your dreams. So what I'm saying is, the hero's journey is not just mythology. It's not a made-up story, but it really represents the psychological transformation, what occurs. So if you find yourself, you lost your job, or you lost a relationship, or you're going through a mental health crisis, that's an opportunity to realize you're in a hero's journey. The hero's journey is a chance for transformation. It's a chance for you to renew yourself and confront your own inner demons. And this journey is often named the Night Sea journey, the Dark Night of the Soul. It's a moment when you lose your identity and you have to face the abyss. You have to face the unknown, right? Where that's our greatest fear, to face the unknown. We want to be secured. We want our life to be predictable. But it comes to the point we have no choice. It will feel like you have no choice but to enter the unknown, because if you don't, you feel like you may not make it through. And once you realize you're in a hero's journey, everything has meaning. You realize nothing is random in this life. And once you realize nothing is random in this life, and life is working for you, not against you, that's when your mind changes. That's when you let it empower you, and that's when you're the hero in your own hero's journey, right? Well, what makes you a hero is forging your way into that hero's journey, is accepting the journey that is called beyond you, right? And so to be a hero in your own hero's journey, you have to be brave enough to face the unknown and confront these things. And that's the beauty of it. So thank you for listening. See you next time.